Hey, what's up mechanics? Welcome back to the channel. Nick from the future here. So if you guys haven't already seen the update video, I'm in a shoulder sling because I had shoulder surgery not that long ago. Actually, as the time of this video, about 2.5 weeks. So I'm still kind of doing the recovery bit, but nonetheless, the video you guys are about to watch is just me tearing down the front half of the Evo and removing the engine. I actually split that up over multiple videos, so I hope you guys go ahead and stay tuned for that. Speaking of multiple videos, this whole series is going to be about rebuilding the Evo, the front subframe, possibly the rear, definitely rebuilding the rear differential, rebuilding the motor, and doing some upgrades along the way. So I hope you guys really enjoy the content because I'm really excited to bring it to you guys. So nonetheless, stay tuned and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Okay, and as you guys can see, we're starting off this build by looking at the massive to-do list we have on this car. Now, the reason why I write on, blue painter's tape, put it on the windshield, well, it keeps me organized, and organized mechanic is a productive mechanic. And you see here, we're gonna start the underside of this project by first draining the oil. You're gonna see me use my filter pliers. Now, typically what I would do is punch a hole in the bottom of the filter just to drain the filter out, kind of keep it a little bit cleaner. But I think I was being a little lazy here. So yeah, I'm gonna drain the filter. And while that's draining, I'm trying to maximize my time here and go ahead and take off some of the cross members here. Now, notice I'm gonna do my best to stay out of the way of that cross member. I'm going to keep my head out of the way. I'm going to keep my body from being underneath it. And even though that thing weighs like, 2 pounds and it's not going to hurt me if it falls, it's better to develop the habit of not being under the vehicle in places where if things fall, they could hurt you. So you can see here, we take out the front cross member. Again, you're staying out of the way. And you notice I'm going to go ahead and thread the bolts back into their respective holes. That's going to help in keeping my bolt bin for this project small, for one, and for two, it's going to lessen the chance and the likelihood of me losing the bolts, and also kind of remember where they're going to be put. So here we are taking out the wheels. As with any car that is front wheel drive or all wheel drive, if you're going to take out the drivetrain, again, cars, not like trucks and big rigs, you need to take off the tires so you can give access to the drive axle and the spindle. Did the same thing there, put the nuts back on there. So, again, organization is key. So you notice here, I use a socket, I put that socket back, put my air hose and my impact wrench out of the way where I can clearly see it, and then I'm using it to take off the strut tower here. That's actually gonna bite me in the butt here in a little bit, but you guys will see why. I should have put that strut tower back, but you guys will see why here in a second. And of course, I'm just using it to take off the battery tray and get to the mount. Now, what we're staring at right now is the throttle cable bracket. And you're gonna see I'm making 2 offset X's or crosses. The reason being is because this is gonna give me a point of reference of putting this back together to not, go too far off the adjustment of what the throttle cable was set prior to me starting this project. The reason why I do offset is just because it gives me a little bit more of an margin of error when it comes to taking it apart. So in this, you're just going to see where I struggle and what it is that I mean by taking that strut tower off and not putting those bolts back. It's going to come back to bite me. So see, I had to go get the jack to support the knuckle, the brake rotor, basically the entire assembly. At this point, I'd already taken out the nut for the axle. And I'm going to try and get a bungee cord here to string up the strut and get it up out of the way. What I should have did was just go ahead and reattach it when I had the chance. But lessons learned here. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Typically when I'm taking out the transmission, it's out of a truck and not a car, but it is what it is. So, honestly, man, these things really fought me a lot more than what I was expecting. Typically I can get it out without having to use a jack, but instead of using your knee or your feet or something else to try to hold that stuff up, just do yourself a favor, save your back, save your body, get a jack and hold that stuff up. You see, use my foot here to guide it, but I'm not lifting with my foot. That's the important thing. And honestly, these struts were really corroded a lot more than the rest of the body of the car. Like on the rest of the car is really minimal for corrosion, which is why it fought me so hard. I was really surprised. But you see here, temporarily put that bolt back in there, and I'm going to use a jack, push that strut back in there, reattach it, and take that bolt out, and then drop it. Now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side, but you see here I'm hammering on that nut, so that nut and that bolt was really seized into that knuckle. So you don't ever want to take your mallet to hammer directly on the bolt. What I normally do is take that bolt, thread it on the nut, or I take the nut, thread it onto the bolt a couple times, and then I hit it with the impact and try to drive it out. You can conversely use the same size bolt on the other side and try to use that as a driving pin. I'm actually not going to reuse those, but you know, just a quick little tip.
Okay, so it's the end of day one. This is what I have so far. The engine is literally just been held in by a few bolts, and I got the engine crane supporting it. So what I'm gonna do is drop the engine, get everything inspected. The transfer case is gonna stay in the car when I drop it. I know, as I said in the voiceover, this isn't a tutorial on how to pull this engine, mainly because it's my first time pulling it out of this chassis, so I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. But so let's see if I can get you. Okay. So with that being said, I had to make a little tool. This is just something to hold a bolt, and then I had to weld these little tabs on this base plate. Bolt goes through here. See if you guys see it. Bolt goes through there, and my slide hammer, little T-fitting or connection, whatever it's called, gets bolted onto there. And the reason I did that is so that I can pull the intermediate shaft, because I don't have the proper size insert to fit my slide hammer. So, you know, kind of made something on the fly. As you can see, it's dark outside. And when I started this video, it was very bright, but you know, took my time, took some breaks, got some food, all that jazz. And then, you know, it took some time to make this. I had to do it a couple times to get it right. And surprisingly, the driver's side axle actually hung me up a little bit. I had a little confused on how to pull it out for a second, but you know, luckily I figured it out. So no big deal on that. So I'm gonna go get some food, and that'll be the end of this video. So as always, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I know I've been gone for a while, but you know, it's so limited video. There's a lot going on, and I'm very happy with how things are going so far. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. You know what? While I'm here, I figured I'd give you guys a quick sneak peek of the taking engine. So, like I said, guys, I really am very happy you guys are staying with the channel. You see here, I'm lifting up that car so I can slide that engine out, and I've got a come along to help slide that engine out across the floor. So, you know, like I said, work smarter, not harder. Save your body. And if you guys can notice, you know, it looks like there's a transfer case still on there. So anyway, stay tuned to the next video. Hope you guys stick with it. I appreciate you guys liking, sharing, comment, and subscribing. And remember, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.